After the 2023 season, when his current contract expires, Kevin has no intention of returning to the driver's seat. When exactly will Kevin Harvick hang up his helmet? Considering his elimination from the NASCAR Cup Series playoff, Kevin Harvick should probably retire soon. Having built up some steam, Kevin entered the playoffs of the 2022 NASCAR Cup Series with cause to be optimistic. Kevin Harvick entered the 2022 NASCAR Cup Series playoffs on a wave of momentum and filled with genuine hope. Less than a month before, at Michigan International Speedway, he broke a string of 65 races without a victory, and the following weekend, at Richmond Raceway, he made it 2 in a row. Although Harvick wasn't the preseason favorite to win the title, he was among the top 6 or 7 drivers in the racetrack at the November race in Phoenix who had a legitimate shot at NASCAR's top prize. Of course, that's not going to happen. If Harvick had done better in the first 2 rounds of 16 races, he would have had a better chance of advancing to the round of 12. In order to advance, he had to win Saturday night's elimination race at Bristol. However, he only placed 10th, far off the pace he needed to maintain to advance. When he left Bristol, he was one of the 4 drivers who had been in contention for the title before the playoffs began. Although Harvick has a contract with Stewart-Haas Racing until the 2023 season, his future in the sport is seriously in doubt after the 2022 season. The 2014 Cup Series champion has been preoccupied with a lot of thoughts, and unfortunately, they haven't all been pleasant. But he didn't start becoming more vocal on controversial matters overnight, or even a few weeks ago. Throughout much of 2022, Harvick hasn't shown much joy. There are 3 main reasons why Harvick ought to forego the last year of his contract and announce that this current season will be his last in the Cup Series. Currently, Kevin Harvick is not performing at his peak level. 2 of the last 4 races in the NASCAR Cup Series have gone to Kevin Harvick. This comes as no great shock. In the Cup Series, he is the oldest active driver at the age of 46. Based on historical data, the average driver begins to show signs of decline around age 43 or thereabouts. Harvick defied this pattern in 2020 at the age of 44 when he won a series-high 9 races. However, his results since then have been surprisingly low. Despite the fact that he has been to victory lane more often this season than in 2021, the first year since 2009, his overall numbers have been unimpressive. At this rate, he won't have any top 5 finishes this year, which would be a new low for him, dating back to 2013. Even if he were to win the next 7 races and place in the top 10, he would still complete the year with fewer top 10 finishes than he had in any of the previous 7 years. Despite the fact that it would be convenient to pin Harvick's performance decline on the next generation Cup Series car, which debuted this year, which has caused growing pains for almost every team. The truth is that Harvick's performance decline actually began with the old car, which has been in use since 2013. The 2-year age gap between 2020's 9-race winner, Kevin Harvick, and 2022's Kevin Harvick is the largest difference between the two, and it's plain to see that he's losing proficiency. After being eliminated from the championship race during the weekend at Bristol, Harvick commented on his 2022 season, "Really nothing has gone right." A transcript of what Harvick said after the race was released by Ford Racing, and the comment is indicative of a dissatisfied driver. Someone who has accepted the fact that his finest days as a racer are behind him. Kevin Harvick has safety concerns when driving the next-generation racing vehicle. In recent weeks, Kevin Harvick has made it very known that he is unhappy with the next-generation car's safety features. When it comes to his feelings regarding NASCAR, Harvick hasn't been quiet. His claims include that the company is unwilling to invest in the necessary safety measures for the vehicles and that it is not responding quickly enough to the rising number of complaints about their reliability. Harvick claimed in a taped interview with the media at Kansas Speedway on September 10th that safety is sort of last on NASCAR's list of concerns right now, and that he did not believe it was fair to the drivers. "We may talk about it all day long, but it won't make it any better, and I don't believe it's fair to the drivers." Recent driver complaints echo those of Harvick, who has cited a perceived lack of safety measures in the new vehicle. Nonetheless, he has been the most vocal critic. Kurt Busch's season-ending concussion in a qualifying incident at Pocono in July is contributing to the skepticism around the next-gen vehicle. Recent years have also seen drivers like Denny Hamlin get wounded by the next-gen's bumpy ride. While speaking to the media at Kansas, Harvick stated, "I believe when I look at the vehicle itself, it's not rear hits, front impacts, or side collisions. It's all impacts." Drivers' subjective experiences differ from what is seen in NASCAR's filtered statistics. We need to be heard more often. Harvick has complained about the force of collisions and has called out NASCAR for not acting sooner to address the issue of the new cars spontaneously combusting. Harvick's vehicle burned during the Labor Day weekend race at Darlington. Even though he hadn't struck anything that would have sparked the fire, he was forced to exit the vehicle and forfeit vital championship points. When asked how he felt about what had transpired, Harvick didn't hold back once he got out of the vehicle unharmed. NASCAR has taken action since then to address the issue. Harvick remarked in an NBC NASCAR interview, "This is a total failure. There is no rhyme or reason behind it. We avoided colliding with the wall or another vehicle, but our automobile has now burned out, and we've been eliminated from postseason contention due to the quality of our replacement components." The components Harvick mentioned weren't created by his group. NASCAR has contracted with a third-party supplier to provide the teams with certain components. When asked about the number of fires that occurred this season, Harvick remarked, "If the teams were in control of stuff like that and the appropriate input was provided, we wouldn't have had more than 2 fires the entire season. There would have been less delay in taking action if the teams had coordinated their efforts." There's no denying that Kevin Harvick isn't exactly a happy person. Kevin Harvick, who goes by the nickname Happy, has had plenty of reasons to be pessimistic this year, not the least of which is his new ride. At least 2 of the tracks where the Cup Series now competes will return in 2023 are targets of his criticism: the Bristol Dirt Track and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Circuit. He's also abandoned his pit crew. The Sonoma event is the most well-known example of this phenomenon. A delayed pit stop was the reason he didn't win after stating he finished 4th. The team should have come in 2nd at the absolute least, he told the assembled media. "Every single week we screw up." This veteran driver knows better than anybody that high team spirit is crucial in NASCAR. However, it was obvious at that point that Harvick didn't give a hoot. The experienced driver shouldn't return for another season if he doesn't care about his colleagues' feelings, isn't thrilled with the future schedule and driver safety, and isn't giving it his all. That's bad news for him and everyone else involved. However, quitting at the conclusion of 2022 would provide a highly sought-after opening for another driver in 2023. In any case, being unhappy at work is considerably worse than quitting early. So even if Harvick doesn't believe he's ready to retire, many fans think he should. What do you think Harvick still feels uncomfortable about, and why do you think NASCAR hasn't done enough to address safety problems? Or he's not ready to go yet? Tell us in the comments, leave a like, and subscribe for more videos like this.